Nowadays, too many students, especially Indigenous students, leave school because of financial hardships and other factors. My name's Dylan Anderson and I'm an Indigenous filmmaker here in the Canberra region. I grew up here in Queanbeyan and went to school at the Canberra High School. I grew up in a single parent family that struggled to make ends meet. But in 2010, a woman by the name of Johanna Pask offered me a scholarship. This wasn't only financial help, but it was motivation to complete my HSC and then go into university. I'm not the only person of this similar success story. So I thought it would be nice to hear her story. This is Johanna Pask. So, as I said in the letter that I sent you, it's been a couple of years since the first time that I received your scholarship. And, I just want to say thank you, of course, because I wouldn't have been going to university, I wouldn't be making this documentary if it hadn't been for people like you who, showed that I could be a lot more.
That's my dream. That's my dream. So I'm very happy that, it's been useful to you, and I just want to see people being able to stay on at school and without the money worries and so on that can come with it, and particularly today everything's getting more and more expensive. So yeah, I'm just really happy that you've been able to benefit from it.
I'd love to know more where you come from, your background.
Yes, well, I'm an English person, which you probably gathered from my accent. And so I had a very ordinary upbringing. I was a single parent family because I was born just after the war, and my father he died in the war. So I had two elder siblings, two girls. I would say brilliant at primary school. Then I went to high school. That was a different story. Yes, so I became a dispenser. I did dispensing for medicines, and I thoroughly enjoyed that too. That was much more it was the most social that I'd been for a long, long time. And then my high school had been a girls' school, but we had to go to the boys' school for joint things like student Christian movement meetings, you see. So everybody joined that, those meetings. It was the only opportunity we had. And I met a guy there, and I met him when I was 15. He was 17, and then we got married. That's who I ended up marrying at 19. He had a scholarship. He did get to university, and he won this scholarship to the University of New South Wales at Randwick. And so we got on the boat. I was 19, he was 21. And off we went to Australia. Since being here, obviously I had children and we came to the ACT, I decided I'll blow this technician business. I'm going to do a degree. So I had to do the mature age entry exam. And that was a dreadful day. Wore me out, and they let me in. And I did geography and prehistory. And that's how I sort of got interested in the Aboriginal life.
So how did you come from meeting all these Indigenous elders to, I want to fund the scholarship?
So I decided, first of all, I would volunteer as for reading, hearing children read at Queanbeyan East Primary. And I went there and saw, I think it was Mrs. Ellis, and she said, oh, no, they really want you in the special reading group, which is at Canberra Primary. So they sent me up here, and I was volunteering there, and just one day a week. But you realise then that there were children who were aged 6 to 10, and they were so far behind. Going into people's homes was a massive shock to me. I found that a lot of the children were, the homes were very poor, so they weren't eating very well. There was obviously a problem about school uniforms and that type of thing that would put them off going to school. And I began to think, how are we saying, why aren't they going to school? You know, we put these schools together, we give them special tutoring, we do this, we do that. Why aren't they turning up, you know? And once you've seen some situations that I've seen, I realise we're asking far too much. And that got me angry. It sort of got me angry that the system wasn't really working in the proper way. And that's when I came here and saw Alison and Kells. And I said, is there anything I can do to help the system work? And yeah, we discussed it. And they said, well, a scholarship, you know, is a way. And I said, well, I don't want it to be patronising. I don't want it to be, you know, here's some money. And I've given it, you know, so I've kept very quiet about it. And for a start, but it's also something you've got to win.
I was really looking forward to telling Johanna Pask everything that I have accomplished because of her scholarship. Surprisingly, I was the first student to do so.
It's very helpful with the financial side, but I think it's also motivation for students, especially like when I was going up through year 10 and I saw Rachel Chanel and other recipients, and we're thinking, well, you know, people are looking at them and thinking they can do so much. And it was people like Paul Kells and Alison Beltrami you mentioned, and yourself. So I worked towards getting the scholarship.
Oh, and that's lovely to hear.
All about that.
Lovely to hear, yeah. See, I don't see that. I don't see that it's motivating in that way. So that's a sign of it that, yeah, that really thrills me.
How did you see it as you were?
I like the idea that with it, it's trust as well, that you accept that you've been trusted with an amount of money that you have some control over, and that you're going to use wisely. And I think that's a level of trust that a lot of people haven't been given ever.
Oh, I think that's about time. Yeah. So thank you for meeting with us. It's great actually being able to have a yarn with you instead of shaking your hand and then saying good day.
Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity for me anyway, yeah.
Great, thank you so much.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Joanna Pask's scholarship has helped so many students here in the Queanbeyan area. Yet she has opinions on how to help students all over Australia, both Indigenous and not. We should all take a page out of her generosity and passion for education so we can move forward as a nation to fund the future.